Hello students, since you are having lab exams, this is just one small efforts from me so that you can understand the difference between the browser programs and the programs which have to be run at the terminal. Okay, so if you see to the left hand side, there are the list of programs. These are our lab programs. Okay, so let's go to lab 1, that is our first program in the lab. So I'm just opening our index file. See here. Now, what is the program? Program is to accept the two numbers, and then what are we going to do? We are going to find the prime numbers between the given two numbers, as well as we are going to count how many prime numbers we found between the given range. Okay. Now, if you see this particular program, looking at the program, do you understand whether this program has to be run at the terminal or whether this program has to be run at the browser? So if you have attended the classes, if you have attended the labs before, yes, definitely you know what kind of a program it is, where we are going to execute it. If for some reason you have missed the classes, or if you have missed the lab programs or the labs, in that case, see, if there is a read line function, if we are using a read line, it simply means that a read line has to be executed at terminal and not in the browser. Okay, now how do you know, like, how do we execute? For example, let's see, I am executing this particular program. So you see the terminal gets opened, but how do you know, like, कि कैसे भाई terminal कैसे करना है, configure कैसे करना है? So what you have to do for that, whenever you want to run any program at the terminal, you need to configure that program for terminal. So select your folder, that is our lab 1, then right click. After right clicking, you see these menus, right? So in that you select set configuration. What do you select? You select set configuration, and instead of selecting default, you go to customize. Click. Then when you see the customize, see here, this is the run as option, this is run as option. So click on the arrow. Normally it is local website. By default it is always local website. From local website we have to select script. Okay, and then automatically PHP interpreter, it will find and it will give the path of that interpreter for our particular project. Fine. After that, what you have to do? You have to click on this OK button. Okay, so I'll click on this OK button also. Fine. Now when you execute this particular program, automatically you see that the terminal is opened, and here you can actually execute your program. For example, 7 and 13, and here you can see. So you can see the prime numbers between 7 and 13 are 7 and 11. How many total number of prime numbers are there between 7 and 11? Just 2, right? Okay. So this is what you have to actually remember during your exam. This is about lab 1. What's lab 2? Let's check what is our lab 2. Okay, now lab 2, again it says enter the first number, and you see here there is a read line. The moment you see read line, it simply means that this is a terminal program. We are going to execute our program at the terminal. We are going to see the output at the terminal. So again the same thing, click on your folder, right click, then what you have to do, you have to say set configuration, select customize. After selecting customize, instead of local website, you are going to select script. It says run in command line. Okay, then OK and execute, and you see the terminal gets open and our output is shown at the terminal. Fine. Now let's go to the next program. This is lab number 3, and I'll just close these index files. There is no need to keep opening all other files. Okay, now this is something called as message passing example. Now you see a form. Do you see a form? The moment you see a form, it simply means that it is our web browser program. Okay, but what is the language? if you see here, we are in the form action, we are going to call process.php. so what is the language? PHP. We are going to have PHP. Let's search for process.php, and you see this is a PHP code. So for PHP code, what do we need? We need a server. Which server we are going to use? We are going to use Apache server. So go to your XAMPP, open your XAMPP control panel, and then start Apache, start MySQL. Actually MySQL is not needed for this particular program but I'll just start because we need it afterwards. Fine. And now when you execute the program, so see the program gets executed in your browser. And where in browser? At the local host. What is your local host? Local host is our local server or the Apache server. Fine. And this is the path of our index.php file. Then you type the message and say submit, and it says message received, your message is welcome to Bhartesh. So this is a browser program. So whenever you want to run a browser program, you don't have to set any configuration. The only thing that you have to remember is open your XAMPP control panel, start the Apache server. Okay, MySQL is only for program number 9, where we are going to create the database. Only at that time we need MySQL, otherwise we just don't need it. So I have stopped MySQL. Let's run the program once again and see if it makes any difference. And I say submit, and yes, it works fine, correct? Then is the next program, which is, I'll just close these files. Okay, which is the next program, lab number 4 and index.php. So again, this is a PHP code. This is a PHP code. Do you see any read line function? No. So it simply means that what kind of a program it is? This we are going to run it in a browser. So let's run. So see, you get the output in one of the browser. Which browser I am using? I am using Microsoft Edge. Okay. So that's all. Like for program number 9, I think I have made the video how to create the tables and a database directly in PHP MyAdmin. Please watch that video so that the program becomes little shorter, instead of putting the commands of create database, create tables and all in our program. What we did, we have just created it from PHP MyAdmin, then we have executed the program which is only going to insert the records. After inserting the record, what are we doing? Just we are going back to the PHP MyAdmin file and we are showing it to the examiner, correct? Right? Okay. So that's what in that program number 9 we have one form. After that form, we are going to read that form input using our PHP script. So we have a server name, username, password. So please see my video that I have done before. Okay, thank you and all the best.